Jay Leno, featuring Kevin Eubanks of the Tonight Show Band. And me, I'm Ed Hall. Tonight, Jay welcomes from Spin City, Michael J. Fox. The astronauts of the Shuttle Discovery, John Glenn, Curtis Brown, and Steve Lindsay. And the music of Johnny Lang. And now, Jay Leno.
MSU, it's a fine school. This is a fine school.
Apparently.
SMU, or whatever it is, or MSU, or MSG, or whatever that is. I can't imagine what made me get confused. But, you know, here is something that is unbelievable. I don't know if you folks have heard about this. This Sunday, 60 Minutes will air a videotape of Jack Kevorkian, the suicide doctor, actually killing a guy with a lethal injection on 60 Minutes. Huh? Well, just when he thought CBS's audience couldn't get any older, now they're going after dead people. Oh, my God. They are. This is true. I mean, that's pretty brave on Mike Wallace's part. You know, that's the first time someone's Mike's age has ever been in the same room with Kevorkian and lived, you know. So. Well, here's my question. After they kill the guy, do they still have Andy Rooney come on, you know? You know what I hate? That little Dutch door in the coffin. You know what I mean? Why can't we see the whole dead guy? Why don't we just see half of it? Actually, I guess CBS is going to make a whole evening out of it. After they kill him off on 60 Minutes, they're going to bring him back to life on Touched by an Angel. So it's a whole evening. Come on home. Come on home. CBS. You know, I'm sorry. You know, seriously, this seems a little creepy, doesn't it? Do we have to see this? You know, maybe I'm old-fashioned, but if it's a Sunday and I want to see someone get killed, I'll just watch the Redskins play, okay? That's pretty much, you know, I think that's the way you do it. That's the way you do it. Ooh. Oh, before we continue, I want to issue an apology. We don't often do this, Kev, but when I'm wrong. I want to issue an apology right here on the stage. After watching Ken Starr testify yesterday, I want to apologize to Vice President Al Gore. He is not the dullest person in Washington. Leave it to a Republican to make sex sound boring. Oh, man. Yeah, and then what did they do? In fact, Ken Starr admitted yesterday he has never even seen himself naked, which is amazing. Very, very conservative. In fact, they asked Ken Starr what people will say about this investigation 30 years from now, and he said the same thing they're saying about it now. When's it going to end? Well, you know what's interesting, though? If you watch any of the hearings yesterday, you know, like the Democrats accused Ken Starr of holding Monica Lewinsky prisoner. Did you hear about that when he questioned her? And then it came out that they questioned her at the Ritz-Carlton Hotel, which is a very fancy hotel, 5-star hotel. She's allowed to go to dinner at their best restaurant. Government's paying for it. Yeah. Waiting for her mom. They had dinner. Hey, here's the amazing part. It's one more dinner than Clinton ever bought her. You know? I'm sorry. You know, come on. You know, there's no sex with Republicans, but at least you get to eat. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's kind of tough to know who to root for in these hearings. Like, first you watch the sanctimonious Democrats, and they ask a stupid question that's more of an accusation. So you go, oh, maybe Ken Starr's not coming off so bad. Oh, and then Republican Ken Starr, he gets on that high horse with that holier-than-thou attitude. Oh, you wonder, well, I hate this guy. It's like watching the Eagles playing the Redskins. They both suck. This is a terrible game. You know, I'm sick of this game. It's a terrible game. And yesterday, while all this Ken Starr stuff was going on, Clinton was in Japan, which I think geographically is as far away as you could possibly get. He was lecturing the Japanese government there. They need to do more to stimulate their economy. See, that's Clinton's solution to everything. More stimulation. More stimulation. That's the key. More stimulation. And don't feel sorry for Newt Gingrich. Now that he's been kicked out, he's going on a lecture.
Animal.
He's going on a speaking tour. Yeah, that's what it is. Forget that lecture stuff. $50,000 a speech he's getting. Do you hear that, Randy? He gets $50,000 a speech plus 3 first-class tickets. 3? How big is his butt anyway? 3 tickets. One seat. How much are you eating? You need 3 seats. Sit on the thing there? What is that? Man. And the British government, I mentioned this last night, they're accusing Saddam Hussein of using the money he gets from selling oil. He's not helping his people. He's not buying food, not buying medical supplies. He's buying breast implants for his friends. That's what they said. So now you know what the rack means in Iraq. That's where the rack comes from in Iraq. Oh, let's see, a little closer to home. Here's a rather odd story. Police in Commerce, California, what's that, 30 miles from here? Say a gang of thieves robbed a warehouse, got 300,000 cans of tuna fish. 300,000 cans, that's right. They suspect it may have been cat burglars. Jerry Springer movie is out. Oh, please, don't rush to the theater. Oh, yeah. The Ringmaster, this stupid movie. This thing opened last night. They had the big Hollywood cast party. Did you see the footage of the cast party? Show that footage of the cast party. There you go. Here you go. Here you go. According to the Globe, O.J. Simpson getting married again.
Is he really?
Oh. I guess he's taking the plunge. Did I say lunge? I'm sorry. Taking the plunge. All they do is finish up the paperwork. You know, he's got to fill out the marriage license. She, of course, has to make out her will, so you have to do all that. You know, if you want to get her an engagement gift, you can't go wrong with pepper spray. That might work. Who would marry? What is that all about? Apparently, O.J. met her as she was emerging from the cave she's been living in for the past 5 years. Aren't you the football player? Weren't you in Capricorn 1? Yes, that's me. I was in Capricorn 1. I'm O.J. Also, according to the tabloids, George Michael, pop singer George Michael, getting married next month to his gay partner. They're getting married. He decided to give his hand in marriage. His other hand, as you know, was busy. Other hand was busy. I couldn't give that one. And humanitarian boxing promoter Don King.
Humanitarian.
You see this in the paper? Don King is going to receive an honorary degree from Shaw University in North Carolina for what he's done for the poor. Let me tell you something. Don King has single-handedly created more poor boxers than anybody else in history. Well, there you go. Thank you, Don. Oh, God bless you, Don. You know who got out of jail today? Heidi Fleiss.
Oh, good.
Oh, well, it seems like... Yeah. Guy brag. Yeah, hookers. So much for sense of shame. No, Heidi Fleiss, and her new book just came out today, too, to coincide with her getting out of prison. It's called Men Are From Mars, Women Are $200 an Hour. Heidi Fleiss is all into it. Thank you, Joey. Boy, here's an odd story. It shows you what a litigious society is. This is the stupidest story. In New Mexico, a man is suing his former girlfriend for getting pregnant. He's suing her because she got pregnant because he says she broke an oral contract to take birth control. Oh, how many guys have broken oral contracts? I'll call you tomorrow. I'm not married. What are you talking about? That's not a cold sore. No. How many women here smoke? You smoke? Look. Look, like now you smoke. You see that lately with the pretty face? You smoke? Listen to this. This is true. According to the New England Journal of Medicine, the breast milk of women who smoke will smell and taste like tobacco. In fact, there's already one report about a living bra getting emphysema. Apparently. That's true. If you smoke tobacco, breast milk. Imagine you smoke marijuana. Huh? Boy, there's the ultimate bong. Okay. There you go. There you go. That's anyway, folks, I mentioned the consensus around the country was that the Ken Starr testimony yesterday, pretty boring. Pretty boring. Only, how many people watched some of it? Did you watch? What, a few minutes? Probably. Okay. We had it on all day. We taped the whole thing. I saw some things I think maybe you may have missed. So watching it again, reflecting the second time. Like, first of all, I thought the nickname, I thought they were mean to Ken Starr when he walked in. Show the tape. Here he is coming in. Now watch. Look at now see everybody else's name. See the name tags? Look at this. This Jackie. Now look at him. Look at this. I thought this is so dork. You see, now, right there. There's no cause for that. There's no cause for that. And you know what else is odd? Did you see that the bald guy sitting right behind, it would be on, what, his right? Sitting behind Ken Starr, who was making all the faces? Show the tape. Here you go. You'll see the hour. Watch this guy. Just watch. Watch this. Here we go. Now watch this. Wait. Okay. Keep your eye on him. There we go. Now what? He's going to doze off. Watch this. Keep watching him. Okay, there he is. There he is. Now watch this. Here he goes. There he goes. He's out. Great. You know, the most amazing thing I thought about watching yesterday was a special appearance by Monica Lewinsky. Did anybody see Monica Lewinsky? Did you see her? You see, you didn't watch long enough. Here, show the tape of Monica.
That too is not a private matter.
We have a terrific show tonight. My first guest, the very funny man, stars on the hit show Spin City, Michael J. Fox. One of the biggest thrills of doing this show was a week or so ago, talking to the shuttle crew in space when they went over. That was pretty neat. Look, I even have my button on. You see, John Glenn gave me that. They are here tonight with us, America's heroes, Senator John Glenn, Curtis Brown, and Steve Lindsay from the... Not sold in any store. You have to know them. See, if I was single, it'd be, hi girls, the astronauts gave me that on the moon.
Jay, you didn't get me a pen, man?
Huh?
You didn't get me a pen?
I'll see if I can pull a few stuff. I'll get you the junior commander wing. No, they got one for you. I put mine on. I put mine on early because I want to wear it.
I want to get one too.
I'll get you. And a young performer. This is a young man I met. We're in Chicago. 17 years old. Plays great blues guitar. Johnny Lang. Johnny Lang as well. We'll be right back with Ask Jay Anything right after this. Keep in touch with the audience. So right now I'm going to take a few minutes to answer any questions you may have in a little segment we call Ask Jay. Hello. Yes, Ed.
Yes, Jay, I'd like you to meet Diana Terranova. She's from Conazella.
Diana Terranova? What's her name?
Terranova.
I'm sorry.
Terranova.
I'm sorry.
She's from Japan, Jay.
From Japan.
Kanazawa, Japan.
From where?
Kanazawa, Japan.
Oh, Kanazawa. I was just saying, yes.
I studied that for hours.
Yes, Kanazawa. Yes,
Okay.
what's the question?
Since we're coming up on the cold and flu season,
Yeah.
I was wondering if you're taking any special precautions to prevent from getting sick, missing work.
Actually, we do. As you know, NBC has no health or welfare, so we have to take care of ourselves. Actually, this is when most, of course, cold germs are transmitted from persons. But like shaking hands, coming out here, you think, oh, how do you keep from catching colds? Well, here's what I do to keep myself germ-free. The people in the audience didn't see it. You folks here at home. Well, show the beginning of the show there. Who has the next one?
Yes, Jay, this is Bill Smith from Centerville,
Bill
Ohio.
Smith, quite a departure from our last questioner. Bill Smith, obviously a phony name here with someone other than your wife. Yes, what do you do, Bill?
I'm a civil engineer.
A civil engineer. Okay,
Yes,
well, that's
yes.
certainly better than an uncivil engineer. What is your question?
Are you excited about the astronauts being on the show tonight?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. John Glenn, of course, a personal hero of mine. I talked about this, remember last week, Kev? I mentioned in 6th grade I did a whole book report on this, so I can't wait till they come out here, and it'll be very, very exciting.
Jay,
Oh, that's Ellen.
Jay.
Yes, Ellen, what is it?
I'm sorry, but the astronauts aren't here yet.
They're not here. Where are they?
Well, I'll let them explain. They're on the satellite.
I patch them in. You see, there's Kurt Brown, there's Steve Lindsay. Guys, what's going on?
Hey, Jay, we'll be there in the studio in a couple of minutes. We had to make this little stop first.
Stop for us. It looks like you're in space. What are you doing?
Well, Jay, John's negotiating a treaty. The fate of the whole Earth hangs in the balance.
Saving the fate of the Earth. Well, these guys really are heroes. Who is John negotiating with? Oh, my God.
Darth Vader, Jay. Hey, my money's on John.
You know, if you were in better shape, you wouldn't be breathing so hard. Let's go. Jay's waiting.
There you have it, Jay. Obi-John Kenobi saves Earth one more time.
Well, thank you, boy. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Boy. I don't think the Star Trek people are going to be calling anytime soon. Why, thank you, Dave. Got to loosen Kurt up. We'll loosen Kurt up when he gets out here. All right, one more question. Yes.
Yeah, Jay, this is Joe Winters from Chicago, Illinois.
Joe, how you doing? Just in town for the funny shirt competition. What do you do?
Oh, I'm a musician.
Musician. I wouldn't have guessed. What do you play?
Drums.
Drums. You're living with your parents?
No.
No. Do you have a band?
On my own. Yes, sir.
What's the name of your band?
The Steep Water Band.
The Steep Water Band.
Yes, sir.
All right, that sounds great.
Out of Chicago.
Out of Chicago. What's your question?
Well, I read in the paper recently about a celebrity burglar who's robbed Bruce Springsteen's house and Ivana Trump's house, among others.
Right.
I was wondering if you're worried about things like that ever.
Actually, I was. I'm right now in the middle of having a new security system installed in my house by my cousin. I don't know if you've heard of this guy, Max Savage. He puts in systems for a lot of celebrities. Maybe you've seen his ads on cable. I don't know. Well, here, run the ad. Take a look. Here's his promotional tape.
As your rich and famous lifestyle lets you feeling a tad insecure, I'm Max Savage, founder of Savage Security Systems of the Stars. We've been protected America's most famous from America's most wanted for years with a personalized security system custom designed for each star. See for yourself.
This is the home of Hollywood hitmaker Burt Reynolds. If an intruder should break into Burt's property, Burt's specially trained attack toupees leap into action.
Now that's a hair-raising experience this intruder won't soon forget.
Here is the home of NRA President Charlton Heston. Even heavily armed Heston was blown away by the security system we installed.
Still not sold? If anyone knows the value of protection, it's famous actor Charlie Sheen. Upon entering Mr. Sheen's property, the intruder is met by a threesome of hostile hookers packing heat. Now believe me, me, you will not find a more satisfied customer than Mr. Sheen. Why, he ordered 3 more hookers just this week. Even country singer Willie Nelson has a homegrown security system that never fails. Should a perpetrator try to slip through one of Mr. Nelson's windows, he is hit with a cloud of what Mr. Nelson likes to call happy smoke. An assault on the senses like no one.
Hey, you guys got any donuts?
Our next security system really leaves them seeing stars. When an intruder dares to walk on prosecutor Ken Starr's property, the intruder is seduced by a very willing Linda Tripp. It's enough to rehabilitate the worst of criminals. But I'm sure you have seen enough. So call Savage Security System at a Stars today and start feeling secure about some... Hey! Oh, you punks! That's my car!
Michael J. Fox right after this. Don't go away. Welcome back. Michael J. Fox is here. The shuttle astronauts, John Glenn, Curtis Brown, Steve Lindsay, and all in the very exclusive club that I'm in. They'll be here, and of course, Johnny Lang will perform as well. All right, y'all know my first guest, Emmy-winning actor. Series Spin City airs every Tuesday nights on ABC. It's a terrific show. If you've never seen it, check it out. Michael J. Fox. Michael J.
Yeah, no, hey.
Where'd you get that pin? You're not in the astronaut club. That's only for people who have talked to the astronauts in space.
They let me in because of the whole Canadian arm thing.
Oh, it's Canadian, so it's smaller.
Yeah.
That's why. I didn't know.
I'm not even going to go there.
They said I was the only one.
No, yours is special.
Special. Are you into space stuff? Were you a big...
When I was a kid, because when I was a kid, when I was like my son's age, a little bit younger, that's when they landed on the moon and all that. So I was very into it. But now I find it really interesting now. I mean, all this scientific stuff they do up there.
Right.
So have they done a thing up there? I mean, has anyone had sex up there yet?
I like it. And sex up there?
Well, but I mean, yeah, okay. We now know that, someone who's a little bit older and in great shape, like Senator Glenn, can go up there and all that stuff. But I mean, can you procreate in space? Can you? I mean, you'd think that the president would have like a special interest in this. Sign a committee.
I was hoping we could leave that kind of filth here on Earth, but it's people like you that's polluting the universe. I never thought about that. Maybe we should ask them or something. Did you ask them?
No, I didn't ask. I'll leave it for you.
Yeah, I'm not going to ask. First of all, it's 3 guys. I can't ask them.
Right, exactly.
They're in space. I don't know what they...
Yeah, I don't know. Well, let's figure it out.
Yeah.
And the president and I said we'll start a commission. I'm sure he'd be happy.
That is your son. Does he want to be an astronaut when he grows up?
When he was younger, he wanted to be a doctor, and then he wanted to be on the space shuttle, and then he wanted to be a doctor on the space shuttle.
Oh, there you go.
But now I don't know. Now I think he wants to be like the president of the Fox Network.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's kind of moved on now. He wants to be in show business.
Yeah. So what was the story you were telling me about him on the airplane?
Oh, he was out here because we're out here.
And he's 9.
Tracy and I are out here doing some work. So he was out with my daughters, and they were out here last weekend, and then they had to go back so he could go to school. So they flew back, with adults supervising them. We didn't just send them off for their frequent flyer miles and say go home. But they split up the group. So he ended up, because he's the oldest, he got to sit with the stranger.
Right.
So he was sitting with somebody and with this woman, a very nice woman, and she said. I had to get Sam's permission to tell this story, by the way. I called him earlier and said, can I tell this? Because they're old now. When your kids get old, you got to go, can I tell the story? And he's like, yeah, okay. Call my agent. But anyway, so he's on the plane with this woman, and she says, you live in New York? And he said, yeah. And you're in L.A.? And he said, yeah. And she said, did you go to Disneyland? He said, no, I went to Universal Studios. So she said, did you go on the Back to the Future ride? And he said, no, he didn't this time. He'd been on it before, but he didn't this time. She said, well, my husband's been on it. He's been on it 3 times, but he threw up. So Sam, said that was interesting. He probably said something appropriate. And then she said, actually, my husband was in the movie. And Sam said, no kidding. She said, yeah, my husband was Doc Brown. And Sam said, my dad was Marty McFly.
That's a little one-upmanship.
Yeah, so it was Chris Lloyd's wife.
Yeah, oh, that's funny.
The odds of that happening are unbelievable.
Now, have you been on the ride?
Yeah, I've been on it a few times.
Yeah, are you frightened?
I'm frightened, a little nauseous.
Yeah.
Has anyone here, but you guys have been, has anybody been on the ride? It's weird because it's basically a rocking chair in front of a big screen TV.
Oh, don't ruin the illusion.
No,
yeah.
it is. I think what it is. They let me go, and there's a place where you can climb up into the rafters, because I know a few people over there.
Right.
And I went up and I could look down, and I could see all these pods of people on the ride, and there's all these people sitting there going like this, going, whoa, whoa, and it really is one of those moments where you go, man, we are sheep. We're just like, hey, am I having fun? Am I having fun? But God bless y'all. Keep going. And
yeah, I think you just got your last free ride. Where do your kid goes the next time? Yeah, your dad was.
Yeah.
You still enjoying New York? You still enjoy living in the city?
I love living in New York.
Yeah.
A lot. It's it's different though. You notice it's really different like around Halloween because everyone lives in apartments, so it's not like when I was a kid in Canada and you go trick or treating.
Right.
What is that, trick or treating or Canada?
The whole country came down.
Yes, exactly. That's all of us. In fact, that's my mom, man. So what it's about is we moved to a smaller building. We used to live in a bigger building with more units. We're now in a smaller building. So I don't see my kids on Halloween because they farm out to whatever friend has the bigger building.
Oh, I see. You don't just do your own building. They go to other buildings.
No, our building's no good. Our building doesn't have enough units.
Oh, I see. So
they have to
qualify for the candy minimum.
Yeah, it's like Johnny wants me to go trick or treating. How big is your? Well, we have 10,000 units. Okay, I'm coming over. Your name is Johnny again? Yeah, I love you. You're my best friend. And Sam got a big hall particularly.
Yeah.
But we have a deal with our kids because they're really susceptible to sugar.
Right.
Like all kids are, but our kids really are. So we give them an option. They can keep the candy,
right?
Or they can negotiate with it, and they can have a toy. And so they can keep 10 pieces or 15 pieces of candy, and then they can trade it.
See.
It's like, let's make a deal.
Now, do they get to see the toy first?
No. I'm thinking about just doing like a box, the box that Carol Merrill is holding.
Oh, the box. So the toy is secluded safely off stage.
Keep the candy. You can trade it for the box that Carol Merrill is holding, or something they see in a magazine or something they see at the toy store. So that's what we generally do. So then we end up with bags and bags and bags of candy. So this is my huger time of the year. So we've eaten a lot of candy, but we had a.
So you eat the candy.
We had a weird thing. Do raisins ferment? Does anyone know about this? If raisins get old, can you get high from raisins? Because we get this thing going on at our house.
Now, are you in the Village primarily in New York?
Now, this is the Upper East Side. But the band. What am I? I'm asking the band. Hey guys, can you get high from raisins? Because we have some chocolate.
They can get high on Malamars. The band.
We had some chocolate-covered raisins
that
I think were old, that came in the bag. Nobody did anything with these raisins, but I think they're just old. And everybody in our house, the adults, were getting high on these. People were sitting there waking up the next day saying, did you eat some of those chocolate-covered raisins? Because I had a dream about killer plants and everything zoning out. So we have the raisins now, and I'm thinking of just taking them to some fish concert or something and selling them. So if you got chocolate-covered raisins, put them away for a couple of years. And then
it sounds like your kid should work out a deal. They take the candy from you and trade it for something later. See, they would take the raisins.
Oh, I see.
That's a long, involved thing. Now, I know you're out here. Now, your wife is doing a series, right? She's doing a pilot? Is that why you're here?
Yeah, carefully say that. Yeah, my wife is doing a pilot, so I thought I better get here soon.
Oh, no. We got 3 pilots backstage.
Yeah, you're doing a lot.
Doing a pilot.
You're doing a pilot? I'll be there right away. I'm producing a show for her.
That's great.
A pilot on ABC. It's called Anna Says, and we're shooting it right now, as a matter of fact.
Well, I know you just took a break to run over here, and I appreciate it.
I snuck away to come and see you.
And your show is one of the best written shows on TV, by the way.
Thank
Spin
you.
City is just terrific. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Michael J. Fox. Be right back with the astronauts right after this.
LP.
good about America. My next guests are three of the astronauts who recently flew on board the Space Shuttle Discovery on a 9-day orbit. Earlier this week, 500,000 people lined up on Broadway in New York to give them a hero's welcome at a ticker tape parade. Please welcome Curtis Brown, Steve Lindsay, and John Glenn. Congratulations, of course, to all of you, and let me say what an honor it was to talk to you, certainly from the shuttle, and certainly more of an honor to meet you all here in person. So thank you very much for coming.
We thought after the shuttle that maybe you better watch out for your contract at the end of this, because Kurt's going to be a good stand-up comic.
Well, yeah. Well, yeah.
We're going to stop while we're ahead, Jay.
Well, let me ask you now. I know the shuttle, there's one window, right? Who got the window seat in the shuttle?
Well, actually, there's up on the flight deck, Steve and I, we get the window seats, and
Okay.
John was down in the mid-deck. He didn't have a window.
No window at all?
No window.
Oh, man. Couldn't you pull rank a little bit?
But, hey, Jay, every once in a while we let him come up and look out the window.
Oh, I see, yeah.
For a small fee. Sneak up, you know.
For a small fee.
How about the plane flying out here? Who had the window? Oh, you got the window on the way out. You know, just reading all about the shuttle and the mission and everything, but the stuff I like, you see. Now, I understand you guys had was it like a secret junk food drawer? Is that true? Where you hide?
Well, Jay, we actually call it a fresh food locker.
Fresh food locker. So what kind of fresh food did you have in there?
Fresh chocolate, things like that.
Yeah.
Lots of chocolate.
M&Ms.
Brownies.
Brownies. These are all the astronaut needs.
This fresh food.
Pretty much.
Now, is that what you have here? Is this the actual kind of?
Well, actually, we have, Jay, we actually don't have any M&Ms or brownie, but I think I can find some. But we have some shuttle food here.
What is that?
Pass it down. This is shrimp cocktail, a favorite of the astronauts.
All you have to do is put 3 ounces of hot water with that, and you'd be cold water with that, and you'd be surprised how good it is.
I would be surprised how good it is. You know something? I would be so surprised at how good this was.
I'm playing straight man for you.
Man, I can see why you're eating the brownies. And that's a shrimp cocktail?
Yeah.
So what do you do? Now, do you inject it with a hypodermic or something?
You have a needle that comes out there, and then you select either hot or cold water and the amount of water to go in, then let it reconstitute for about 3 to 5 minutes. It's pretty good.
And it smells delicious. Now, what is that?
Some macaroni and cheese.
Macaroni and cheese.
You know something? Macaroni and cheese looks just as bad on Earth as it does in space. Look at that. Now, that looks pretty bad.
Got a little Velcro on the back, so you can stick it on the wall, it won't go away.
But you can do that with regular macaroni and cheese. And what is that one?
We have some noodles and chicken, and probably the best, Jay, we have some freeze-dried ice cream for you.
Good. Now, what do you do with? Now, this isn't a regular baggie. What do? Do you just put this in water or something?
No,
you
kind of do that. Just eat it as is.
But how can this be ice cream? It's not cold.
No, it's pretty good.
This is the worst ice cream I've ever had in my life.
Hey, John, did you put the Viagra in there?
I did.
It's got Viagra in it. That's the best ice cream I ever had.
Well, actually, we got some...
That's the worst ice cream I've ever had in my life. As I said before, the big... Oh, there's the M&Ms. Look at that. Oh.
There we are.
Okay, and the brownie. This you just eat regulars. No, you don't really want to
reconstitute those.
You know, I did a 6th grade report on you.
Yeah, I know. You mentioned that on the...
Well, you know, it's just fascinating because when you do a job, like when you're in 6th grade, and I remember seeing you and writing about it and speaking in front of the class, the idea that our paths would ever cross seemed like something that would never, ever happen. So that's why this is kind of fascinating to me to kind of finish up my book report.
But did you ever get your grade yet?
I have an incomplete, actually. What is that? What is that?
Jay, actually, we have something from the 95 crew that we hope will help you in finishing your report, and we've kind of photo documented it a little bit. So from the crew here, we'd like to give this to you and let you take a look at it so that'll help out.
Oh, look, I'm in the shot. Can you get a shot of that?
And Jay, if you look at the...
That's great.
see the report says 6th grade.
6th grade.
But we did have a little trouble getting your chin in the suit if you look closer.
Oh, man. Boy, because he can't do a line in a sketch, he gets all huffy about it. You know something? We found an interview you did in 1962 from Meet the Press.
That's a long time ago.
Now, and you were about, how old then? What would that be, 41?
40, I was 40, coming up on 41.
Coming up on 40. Take a look. I thought it was interesting what you had to say. Take a look. 1962.
Time limit set on, age limit on the astronauts' age going up there to the big yellow moon?
No, there's been none at all yet. I feel as long as we stay in good shape and can keep qualified, I don't see increasing age as any obstacle here.
Would you guys go up? Would you guys want to go up at age 77?
Definitely.
Absolutely. I just didn't go up before I reached 77.
Maybe.
If I go on that same flight, how old will I be then?
I'm trying to think.
That's going to be a good one, yeah.
Well, you know what I thought was fascinating, and this is something I just found out recently, and I was told that you didn't know at the time. When you came back, you were such a hero that President Kennedy didn't want you to go into space again because he feared that something might happen and it would hurt the reputation.
Well, all I knew at the time was I wanted to go up again, and I kept talking to Bob Gilruth, who was head of the program at that time, about getting back on flight rotation, and he kept saying, no, headquarters didn't want me to go up again, wanted me to do some other things. And so I stuck around for about a year and a half, still getting the same answer. And it came out much, and so I went on and did other things. And it came out much later in some biography, I think, of President Kennedy, that he had expressed his wishes to NASA that I not go up again, at least not for a while. I didn't know that at the time.
Well, that must have been extremely frustrating for you at the time.
Well, it was, because I thought, well, I knew I had done a good job on that flight, and so it wasn't that was keeping me off another flight. But anyway, it's all worked out, and here we are 36 years later.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Now, tell me about the medical research that you did. You gave a lot of blood.
Well, the reason I went up wasn't to just give blood to Scott Perezinski, who was a doctor on the flight. He looked like Count Dracula coming after me with teeth out some days. I think there were 12 different blood draws on flight, and we processed the blood, brought it back for analysis, and so on. It's part of a study of the similarity between what happens to a natural part of aging here on Earth and what happens to younger people up there that they recover from when they come back. But if we can find out what turns the body's systems on and off with osteoporosis and cardiovascular things, balance, orthostatic, a whole bunch of things, why, maybe we can cut out some of these frailties of old age someday, and that's the purpose of my going up there.
Now, if a person was ill or elderly and couldn't move, would he be better in space with that environment? No, no, seriously. I mean, on your bones, because you're not putting pressure or anything, right?
Well, no, but if they were already frail, maybe they could get around better up there, because you really don't need legs up there. Yeah. Your legs, as a matter of fact, sort of wither a little bit, I guess, when you're up there. Body fluid shifts and comes up in the upper part of the body, and so it's very different.
You'd have to eat this crappy ice cream. Now, how was your landing? Was that rough?
Hey, Kurt was. Well, I'll let Kurt describe the landing here. He did a superb job. Good commander all the way through, and landed right down the center line. I think when we did a walk around after the flight, I think out of that 300-foot wide runway and the center line down the runway, I think he was about, what, 6 inches off center?
So you're off.
If he keeps doing that, he'll qualify as a good Marine pilot.
Yeah, but John, some of the people didn't even know we were on the runway yet. I'm not sure a Marine could ever say that.
Well, gentlemen, it is truly an honor to have you here. Thank you, gentlemen. John Glenn, Steve Lindsay, Fred Brown. Thanks, guys. Hey, would you sign my... The 17-year-old blues sensation whose CD Wander This World has already sold over 1 million copies. Please welcome Johnny Lang.